Hi everyone, it's Dominic. It's hard to believe that it's been a full 5 years since I've successfully completed the Devil Dog Challenge at Woody's in Hartford, Connecticut. A lot of my friends will fondly remember this video, and I'd say there's a broad range of emotions that were expressed from those of them who watched this, ranging from it being totally cringeworthy in terms of them, not being able to put themselves in my position and endure some of, quite frankly, the pain that it took to get through this challenge, and others who looked, who watched it with their families and said it was like a sports video and they were cheering me along, which I just thought was really hilarious. So anyhow, what I thought I'd do, just I thought that folks might be interested in, is to do a voiceover, kind of talking through my emotions as I went through this challenge. So to give a little bit of background, what you're seeing there now is those two hot dogs. So those two hot dogs are laced with a number of different peppers. I'd say that the base started out with some habaneros, which are fairly moderate on the in the grand scheme of the heat scale, and they're also layered on are what's called the ghost peppers or the ghost chilies, which are just unbearably hot. And if that wasn't hot enough, at the top of both of the dogs, you'll see they're loaded on is a very special pepper. It's actually the hottest in the world. It's called the Trinidad Scorpion. Just to give you a point of reference in terms of the heat scale, habaneros are 100,000 Scovilles, and the Trinidad Scorpions are 1.4 million. So here we go. I'll talk you through my emotions as this gets started. That's my team. That's my team in the back. My team at the time. So here we go. There's the first dog. So at this point, I'm just purely going off of momentum and adrenaline. I'm not feeling anything. I'm really just going straight into this. I'm treating it as a regular hot dog if I'm at a restaurant. I'm not feeling any pain. Pure adrenaline at this point. Everyone is saying, "What the hell are you doing? Slow the fuck down." But anyhow, there I am going, trying to, and you have to eat all the peppers that fall off onto the plate as well. So even if it falls off of the dog, you have to eat it. So that's what I'm doing there. So far so good. There you see, within probably less than a minute, the first dog's gone. I'm eating the peppers. I'm not really feeling that much at this point, to be honest. You'll see me raising my thumbs because what the guy does is, he makes sure that from a health perspective that everything's intact. So every so often he asks you to give you the thumbs up just to make sure that you're coherent and all. So I'm giving the thumbs up. I'm not really feeling that much pain yet. I even started the second hot dog. Now, as you could see really quickly, what happened there is my eyes are starting to water, and I'm at the point now where there's a little bit of internal regurgitation, very moderate, very minor, happening, and I'm really starting to just realize that this isn't a regular hot dog. This is definitely something different. And at this point, I'm just my eyes are really starting to water now. It happens, as you can see, it happens really quickly. In hindsight, what I think I did is, I went through the first dog so quickly. I really, never anticipated the full force of really what were on those hot dogs. So I'm definitely starting to hurt right now, very quickly. My eyes are watering. Everyone in the back is like saying, "You must be crazy." Yeah. So at this point, like I said, still processing some of that pain, so to speak, and just trying to mentally think, how the hell am I gonna get through the rest of the hot dog here? I have to be honest with you. This part was probably the most painful because you're just getting used to the pain. This is pain that I've never felt before. Essentially, what it feels like is an electric currents passing through your body, and you're just training your body to deal with that initial shock because your body is just totally in shock. But at the same time, I'm very determined. I'm not gonna give up. Everyone, came from work to watch me, and um, I- you know, as in life, I tend to be determined in anything that I do, and I like proving the doubters and the naysayers wrong. So that's really all that's driving me now. I'm still kind of in shock. I'm a little bit stunned. My body and my eyes are just bloodshot red at this point. It's probably been, as you could see, I've been talking about this for probably maybe almost 2 minutes now, and there hasn't been any action on the dogs. No, I have 20 minutes. So the advantage that I had at this point is that, I'd already gone through one of the hot dogs, so I bought myself some time. So here it goes now. I'm gonna start trying to make a dent on the second one, and now, granted, the pain. Consider that the pain or the emotions here are. I would describe it as being cumulative. When the hot dogs start to burn you, it starts kind of internally with your lips. It spreads, to the inside of your throat. It goes through your tongue. Now it's coursing through all of my internal organs, going down my trachea. I'm starting to sweat, as you can see. My body is just like in a lot of pain right now. So this is a part where it's just purely mental, and I'm thinking, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do this, and I'm asking, I'm kind of trying to buy time. I'm trying to distract the guy. I don't want to make it look like I'm gonna give up, so I'm asking questions. You see, my lips are getting a little bit swollen, and I'm really just, trying to spread things out as much as I can. I think I was probably asking how much time was left. So there we go. Took another really big bite. So at this point, I think my approach for the second hot dog was a lot different. With the first one, I wanted to get it done as quickly as possible, get some momentum. With this second one, no, I had to really just break it into pieces. Once I had somewhat acclimated, even though I guess you can't technically acclimate. Once I had technically acclimated to some of, to that feeling essentially of that electric current passing through my body, I did pick up a little bit of momentum again. So here's what I'm doing here is I'm saying, okay, I got the first one down pretty quickly. Within the intermediate steps, I tried to break it down into even pieces. Now at the end, I'm just pushing towards the end and saying, look, I know I have 20 minutes. Let me just suck down as much as I can. This is also a little bit tricky, is that all those peppers in the plate you have to eat. So why it's tricky as well, kind of common sense, is no, I don't have any more bread. Like when you're eating something spicy and you have something like a piece of bread to kind of numb your lips somewhat, that's helpful. But no, I'm at the point where it's do or die. It's only the peppers left. I'm in excruciating agony. Everyone's there. I honestly think people were getting a little bit concerned at that point. As you can see, my eyes just are getting redder and redder. But I try to summon some kind of a force inside me to finish this up. I'm really determined. When you get to this point, you're so close to puking. You're so close to everything. Your body is just writhing in pain, and you get to a point where you don't want all of this to be for nothing. So you keep pushing, and I'm getting a bit of motivation in the back from my teammates. But no, it really starts to hurt. Like I said, think of this, it's cumulative. We're about 7-8 minutes into it. And the pain is just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like at the point of puking. I'm thinking of like drinking water, drinking milk. There's a glass of milk right there. It's very tempting. But if you drink it, you automatically get disqualified. So you're not considered to successfully complete the challenge if you touch the milk. In fact, you can't even touch the glass. So, I'm very tempted. I'm thinking, what the hell, at this point it's like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? My hands are probably starting to shake like a crab now. The electric current is just coursing right through my veins. I guess I'm getting a little bit used to it, but it still pains like hell. No, I have some more, and granted, no, those peppers right there. Remember, it's all three layers of the peppers. You got the Trinidad Scorpion, the Ghost, and then the habanero base. So it's like a concoction of different potencies of peppers. So I'm just trying to get it. I'm at this point, like it's been almost 10 minutes, and I'm almost there. I just want to get it done with as quickly as possible because I'm thinking the sooner I get done, the sooner I can wait because there's a mandatory 2 minute waiting period, which I'm going to talk about pretty much right now. Here we are. So the peppers are gone. This was perhaps just the and this guy's just being an asshole. Right? He's telling me to he's really being nitpicky and saying that you got to eat all the peppers down to the seeds. Like really, like my teammates were actually like kind of pissed off with him because he was just being an asshole. But it is what it is. So there you see, like my hands are laced with peppers. Now, what people have done in the past is they make the huge mistake of rubbing their eyes at this point. So that's something I was kind of thinking of. They were kind of just reminding me, don't rub your eyes because that's like the do or die. If you rub your eyes at that point, you're pretty much like done. So anyhow, so the mandatory 2 minute periods is going on now. I have to hold it in. The key is that you have to hold it in without puking. And this is like, think of it, it's like a marathon at the Olympics. You're like getting so close to the finish line, and you don't want to trip right before you get to the line and let everyone kind of pass. Even though this is kind of like a self challenge, right? It's not really a race. It's just kind of me challenging myself. So this is where you just hold it. You're determined as possible. You're saying, look, with every passing second, I'm not gonna let this slip because it would have all been for naught. Look how swollen my face is. My face is swollen. My lips are swollen. My nose is swollen. This is just like painful to watch, but I mean, it was just awful. But I just wanted to push through it. We all, walked over in the afternoon after work, and all my team members were there. They were cheering me on. It almost reminded me of back in my swim days, a competitive race where everyone in the stands is cheering. You feel some of that adrenaline flowing. There's my manager showing me something on the phone. I'm not quite sure, but they're probably just trying to get me through the last few minutes. I'm checking my watch frenetically because, obviously, I'm just dying for this guy to tell me it's over. And at that point, you're all you're doing is trying to hold the puke down because remember, that pepper still, it still it's recently hit your throat. Even though you swallowed everything, the impact is still there. My throat's still burning. My body, that current still is going through my body. So I have to try with every fiber of my being to keep the puke in. I'm holding up my hands there, just trying to see, how much more time is left. And it's the clock starts ticking down. Everyone's, I think at that point, was pretty psyched. And I mean, at this point, my face is almost unrecognizable. I literally look like a blowfish. My hair looked terrible for some reason throughout the whole video. Not quite sure why. Maybe I hadn't washed my hair or something that morning. So at this point, yeah, it's finally over. And what the guy did actually, which really kind of, he made a joke with me. He made a cruel joke and said that because I touched it, I was disqualified. But I was just really glad to know that I wasn't going to be disqualified. And at that point, when you drink that milk, it's just like, I'm not quite sure what the nutritional content of milk is in terms of acid versus alkaline. But whatever is in the milk, it's really kind of neutralizing some of that really harsh pepper, and everyone's kind of clapping there. So this is at the beginning of the recovery here. I'm pretty happy. People are taking pictures now. Successfully completed it, the 10th person in the history of Hartford. Very excited. For the most part, an inconsequential milestone, but just something that I was really glad that I was able to push through and persevere. I don't think anyone on my team honestly think I would have been able to do it, but I was able to do it. At this point, no. Also, so they give you something to eat, like a kind of like a fudge sickle or an icicle or something. There's a kind of, because remember my throat's still burning. It's been probably 2 minutes since, but my throat's just burning. It literally feels like it's on fire. So what that's doing is essentially kind of soothing my throat from the inside out. And there we go. Another glass of milk. I probably had 3 or 4 of them right after, and everyone's asking me questions, but honestly, like I'm hearing them, but I'm not able to respond. All I can think of is I just need to neutralize the taste of this pepper right now, and There we go. Like I almost puked a while ago. And like some of the joy and the elation is starting to set in now. Like I'm just starting to realize that I've actually done it. I didn't think I wasn't quite sure. I was probably convinced I could do it, but you just never know. I've definitely never had. I don't think I've ever had peppers hotter than a habanero till that point. So to go from 100,000 Scovilles to 1.4 million is pretty crazy, and it's just good to know that I was able to do that. Um, so everyone on the team, I think, is just like making sure that I'm not gonna die, pretty much. But anyhow, thanks for joining. And there it was.